first of all, how do you assess the first steps of the Ukrainian new authorities towards the Donbas war?
Positive, very positive. On the political level, we've seen the implementation of an important confidence-building measure, and that is the exchange of detainees. I think this could be a first step towards improving Ukrainian-Russian bilateral relations. On the ground, we've seen since the last recommitment to the ceasefire a 75% reduction of ceasefire violations. All in all, the ceasefire is better respected than in previous periods. We have seen from the 26th of June on disengagement in Steinmeier Luganska. Finally, one is tempted to say, which in turn allows the start of repairing of this famous Steinmeier Luganska bridge. We also see in the trilateral contact group, where the 5 signatories of the Minsk agreements meet, a more positive, a more constructive mood, and I think we are quite close also to a start of disengagement from the disengagement areas 2 and 3, that is Solot and Petrivske. What we need clearly is a sustained political commitment in order to consolidate this positive dynamic.
Those steps couldn't have happened earlier.
I think the change in government clearly brought a strong new impetus, a positive impulse, and a political commitment that you need. But I would immediately add that you obviously need the political commitments by all sides if you want to progress. And what I can see right now is a political will by the key stakeholders to move forward in implementing the Minsk agreements, and that for me is clearly light at the end of the tunnel.
Can we say that the change of government is the reason why it have happened?
Look, you always need enlightened political leaders that master the political commitment to advance in a peace process, to also make, the concessions at times that are necessary in return for steps forward. And I think that is what we are currently witnessing.
How do you understand the Steinmeier Formula, and what is the role of your organization in its implementation?
Well, the Steinmeier Formula is basically a proposal on sequencing certain measures, important measures that are foreseen in the Minsk agreement. It's basically about the entry into force of the special status law once local elections have been held. First on a temporary basis, and then once there is a declaration of the elections as being according to OSCE international standards and Ukrainian legislation, the law would enter into force for good. And well, the role of ODIHR OSCE is as OSCE's center of expertise for elections. Well, ODIHR will have to conclude if these standards have been met by and large.
Okay, also I wanted to ask about free democratic elections in Donbas. How do you think, what conditions should be to conduct these elections?
Let me start with security. I think you need favorable security conditions. We need a sustained ceasefire, clearly. But then this is clearly not enough. We need freedom of movement, we need freedom of assembly, we need freedom of speech. These are all necessary elements for an enabling environment to hold elections that can be considered free and fair.
Continue to see in the reports of OSCE special monitoring missions that access to the separatist-controlled territories are blocked for mission. And what do you think? why and what they don't want you to see there?
Wouldn't want to speculate about the future, but I clearly expect these freedom of movement restrictions to be also in the future a reality of our work. It is always a hindrance to transparency, and if I see obstacles to transparency, I have immediately a suspicion that there is an attempt behind it to hide something from our and the international community's eyes.